feeling the heat from both sides of the aisle now. We have continuing coverage tonight as several state lawmakers are attacking Governor Cuomo's plan to have taxpayers fund a college education for prison inmates. Republican Greg Ball, a senator from Patterson, is pushing a petition now to dump that proposal. Senator Dean Skelos, who heads up the Senate Republican Conference, says taxpayers should not be forced to pay for an inmate's education while middle-class families struggle to put their own children through school. Those are just some of the Republicans who are criticizing the plan. Our Brendan Lewis is live in the studio tonight. And Brendan, I know you spoke to members of the governor's own party tonight, and some of them also are not supporting this idea, right?
Yeah, that's right, Greg. In fact, their arguments sound very similar to the ones that you just mentioned. The primary concern that focuses on where the state would get the money to pay for this program and what else they could be doing with the money. As we've reported, it's not a very popular program among constituents so far, and it could mean political problems for politicians.
It's puzzling that our priorities would be placed in this area at this time.
Democrats spoke out against Governor Cuomo's newly announced plan to give prisoners a taxpayer-funded college education.
I have a 10-year-old daughter, and you think about how you're going to pay to get your kids through school. I think that's where our priorities need to lie.
Since it was announced Sunday, many residents have sounded off, outraged that while their children struggle to pay pricey tuition, men and women behind bars could get a free ride.
So our priorities really need to lie in helping our hardworking families and students, not criminals. That's my position on this.
It's a question of priorities. I think the state has many, many limited resources, and in my view, the first priority should be helping the middle class deal with the problems of high college tuition.
Normally, the governor has an easier time getting his agenda passed in the Assembly, a Democrat stronghold. With several in his own party speaking against it, some are wondering if it was a misstep by the governor that will isolate the middle class.
To not pay attention to this problem of the financial pressure or stress on the middle class, I think is a mistake economically, because the spending of the middle class drives our economy forward, and I think it's a mistake politically as well.
And the governor says the prison program will save taxpayers money in the long run because they're less likely to reoffend. Last night, you may remember, we told you about Bard College's privately funded prison initiative, which less than 4% of its inmate graduates have returned to prison versus the 40% average. We do have that story on our website, CBS6Albany.com. Live in the newsroom, Brandon Lewis, CBS 6 News.